would make a bunch of noise. Sorry, Ma. By dropping my production lighting. Who needs a studio when you got a fan with fun lights on it? There's all kinds of stuff too. It goes like this. Bloop. It's hella dope. So I just set it over here off to the side. Yammer. Thought I'd yammer at the end of this cycle. I don't really play reindeer games much, so I don't really go by what other people do. Me and Mom pretty much live the same day. Try to live peacefully because we've lived through so much war. Man, war derives from other people that are displeased with themselves, that have conflict within themselves, and they go out and create havoc. And they do it at all levels, and I like to see that people are waking up to like across my FYP today. I was happy to report they have to register themselves as Freemasons. I think that's a good thing. Because everybody, you got to know who's running with who and who's getting all the money and insider trading and all that. It's all a club, right? And now people are going to see what a club it is. I think it's a wonderful, wonderful thing. It's a glorious thing. So, me and Mom are just chilling. I made probably the best batch. This is batch number 4, caramel. This is the best batch I ever. Best batch. Did that? I said it. Yeah, they're good. I used 2 ounces. 1 of the ounce of flour was only like they weren't super high. One was 26%, and the other was probably 20% of like trim. Every now and again, you can find a place that'll sell you an ounce of trim for $30, and then I made 2 sticks of butter, 1 cup, with 2 ounces, so it's the strongest I ever made before. So it helps get rid of people's pain. You soothe people's pain, and then give them the means to do what they want to do in life, and then they're a lot happier, and they're not tearing up the streets wreaking havoc. I'm trying to speak into the existence a world where everyone has opportunity to at least go to the trade school in your local community. They used to have a lot more of that stuff. More like I did. It's all about access. Everything's access. Like I can't believe all of the nepotism that I wasn't afforded to, but my brother was. It's just ridiculous. Like I quit, and I figured out in 2016 that all the jobs. That's cool. I don't really do these for likes and clicks and subscribers. I do them for people that they're for other people. They're not for me. New Year's in April or March in the spring equinox. So this is just more, made up, contrived realities. No, I don't do this. I just sit here and I live life and I speak the truth on my life experience. I do side gigs that don't make any money while I take care of Mom, just because it makes me happy to make other people happy. And there's so many people that are sad in around where I live that they go out every day, and there's always stabbings and shootings and killings and all kinds of stuff because they're so upset about themselves that they got to take it out and lash out literally, not figuratively, on other people. And I'm trying to teach people how to find that peace within themselves, so they don't have to go out and wreak havoc. I got another turtle today. I had a funny circumstance happen that I have this box where I'd gotten like holiday loot, and there was still stuff in there. And so he hangs out. I'm standing turtle is my. If you were to look at my Gemini placements, I have almost half. Most of my chart is like dual energies, like Pisces and Gemini. So now I have two turtles. I got this one in Tulum, Mexico. This is my little original standing turtle. Standing turtles don't run. I even got an art rendition made up of it here. If you look at, that's my standing turtle. It's just an art of me. It's just me without my headphones. It's the only thing it's missing is headphones. Then I make T-shirts and I give out stickers to people when I go out in town and go walk around. They say straight people like rainbows too. It's cheeky because I'm not, and it's the rainbow is the color wheel. It's not the. I don't know where my cup is. My coffee cup. It's over there by mom. Let me grab it. Are you warm enough, Mom? You want the heater on? No? I can turn it on if you want. Make it nice and... Okay. Alright. Alright, here's my stickers. Straight people like rainbows too. I get them from the sticker mule. And then it's in the color wheel. I came up with this when I was a 9-year-old girl when we lived on Manzanita Lane across the street from Mission Square in Redding, California. I said I'm in Montgomery Creek on my talk. I always say I'm someplace else. It's someplace I've been before. And my buddy Saul lives around Montgomery Creek. And my heart is like with him. Every year, part of my heart goes out to be with him because somebody that he loved and I cared about, that I knew, left this earth in a very extravagant way on New Year's Eve 1999, year 2000. So it's been 26 years. So, like, you know, there's milestones that just make people feel bad, and I'm trying to help people replace those bad feelings with good feelings. So I sent him a whole bunch of loot. He should be getting here pretty quick on the 6th, whatever day that is. He can share with all of his friends, the hill people at Montgomery Creek. It's funny, when I was stationed at Offutt Air Force Base in Omaha, I was in an aid shop. That's when, like, I started figuring out, like, everything, like, we were just actors. Washington, D.C. and Hollywood are the same, and they use the same budgets. Because what are the odds of 3 people that came from Redding, California, that went through MEPS in Sacramento, all ended up in the same aid shop in Omaha? And you know what's weird about that is that both places, they're on the 40th parallel. Because our stories, we live our lives based on frequency. And all of these quantum metaphysics, because I come from one of these quantum realms where in all things possible, multi-universe. So there's not one universe and then we're all just experiencing one. No, we're all perceiving a different universe. So there's like however many perceivers are on this planet, and they lie about population numbers. There ain't no way, I am convinced, ain't no borough brat, ain't no bureaucratic asshat, no government has enough efficiency where they can collect enough people that are in agreement across the board that they can actually determine and establish how many people are actually on the earthly plane. They can't even determine the shape of what the earth is shaped in. You know, that, like, the narrative of America is falling apart. America's built on butt stuff, about a bunch of men hiding in closets doing gay man things while condemning and putting people in jail. And it's not just that. It's just not just butt stuff, but it's all the drug use. It's like the military's the largest cartel that exists. You know, so it's like the gig is up. maybe it wasn't like that before. I just don't know of a time, because I know I was a part of bombing Iraq, and we did that for no good reason except for rituals, because people a few groups of a small group of men were making us pay homage to their weird gods, because the primary ultimate rule on this existence is thou shalt not kill, and anything above that is a lie. And any religion that would, that they would have you enforcing, that designate that that's okay, it's never okay. It's never okay. It's never ever okay. There's always consequences that come with that. And freaking, they're all playing games, because they watched Rockford Files back in the freaking 70s. So they're all machismos playing games, and then they get in positions where they're wasting other people's money, and there's karmic retribution that comes with all of these putrid acts. There's consequences that come with that. There's weight that comes with power, and these people, they've gotten it and they've abused it. They abused their power. California's going through it. I keep looking at the storm. It just like keeps growing. It just keeps growing, and it grows, and it grows. And California, look at this. This is the latest. It's 7:49, so it's like 6:49, 5. I don't know. I'm all messed up with the time. So this is the storm that's going over California right now. I'm not in California. I'm in New Mexico. I just said I'm at Montgomery Creek because my buddy Saul is there, and he always has a hard time today. But I actually was stationed at the Air Force with somebody. Hey, what's up? That Kelly Montgomery, and her family was like the founding family of Montgomery Creek. So she's probably still there. I don't know. I'm not friends with people that I used to know in the military, because a lot of them went off to do 20 something years, and I could only stand 6 because it's a lie. This was at 12:09. This was at 12:09. So if I do a side by side, I made caramel today. Check this out. That has 2 ounces of indica, or one is a hybrid, the other is an indica trim. I made the butter. That is the caramel product that I made. Here's the butter that I used. It turned out like this. It was like falling apart. I got to get a higher fat content butter, and they need put emulsifier in it. And I have the emulsifier, I just can't find it. And then this is a piece of the end product. So I'm getting closer to the crackle. I'm excited about it. This was when it was over 300. I was shooting for 350. So, hella dope. That's how I use my energy wisely. Yep. So now the storm, it started from this, and now it's this. It started from this, and now it's this. It started from this. Like there's gonna be so much rinse repeat because of all the flooding, because of the freaking fires, and there's always everybody that's so important they have some place that they shouldn't be driving in, but they always go. I used to go to AA meetings and blizzards and stuff. And then I got to the point that it's like I didn't get sober so I could die from being a dumbass. So I'd use my discernment and stay at home. What? Is this the house that was behind? Nope. This is Chama. Chama, New Mexico. See, I don't care where I live, because wherever I live, there I am. And people, you know, I am as cool as I can be to people, and I'm not warmly received. I just am not. And more houses are coming up for sale. It's more and more and more. Because people are on the move. Where are they going? See, there's no way there's all the people. Well, think about all of the people that are displaced at all times. Every year, there's more and more people being displaced. What happens to them? The human body's strong. Strongest muscle isn't the one that you expect. Well, I guess that's one way to look at it. What else? It's I don't know, appeal to emotion fallacies is I can get caught up in all that nostalgic stuff too if I get tuned into to other people too much. Like, I am so grateful that I had 11 years with one dog that I lost, that is being left on a made up calendar year that says 2025 on it. It's just, if you love things when you experience, as you experience life, the more love that you have in your heart, you want to give that to other things, cats, dogs, people. You feel good. You want to share that with other people, is what I found. And like, I'm going through a great deep stage of loss, and I lost 3 of my dogs in 11 months, and I have one left, and she's it's up to her when she wants to go off and be with her sweet Tucker Boo, honey bear. And she's having her own life. I just like made it possible for her to like have the love of her life. She came from South Carolina, like Blanche Devereaux, and Tucker came from a puppy mill in uh that one place, St. Louis, Missouri, and they got to love each other till I had to take him for his last breath. And I had to, because his body was wearing out. He couldn't hardly carry himself around anymore. But his mind and his spirit was vast, and it was a very difficult thing. Um, but I've been taking care of mom for a long time, so I understand from a very young age that this life isn't just about me, and it's selfish if I just want to live this life for me. And then I go around and I see people who just want to live their life and go skiing and do this unuseful event here and there, and do this over here and that thing. They don't really do much to add to their environment. Maybe pick up a piece of garbage once a year. And there's just a lot of people out in the world that just they're sad. They have so much hurt that is weighing them down, and they don't got nobody to hear them. They don't got nobody to listen. So I'm trying to make a place where people can retreat to, and I'll listen to them bitch their woes, because it makes me, more grateful about my life in which I have, because it's made possible that me and mom are comfortable. I don't get on the internet to ask for any kind of financial assistance. I will never monetize any of my social medias, because that's not what I'm about. I live a truthful existence, and I share my existence with other people in hopes to try to find other authentic beings that want to, make things better. The short period of time that we're here during this earthly incarnation. So, because I'm tired of people jumping off bridges and dams and stuff like that. Tired of people, you know, I don't think it's so. I think we need to make an existence that makes for everybody. It can be done if the control freaks just short out and die off, but it can be done. I see a future with like um, nursing homes where there's different level of care where the people that live there can participate, and it's not just for old people but for like autistic people too, or people that can live communally but have their own separate living quarters, like, but agreeably comfortable, not that looks like a prison and institutionalized. Like they do in the military. Like the military dorms were basically college dorms, only way nicer. And then they have, it's not, the college is not really much different than the military. Like tech school and stuff, you get people that hook up and get unplanned pregnancies, and then they get married, and then they're stuck with people for the rest of their lives. That happens the same in both environments, in universities and the military. Call them they call them tech school weddings is what they call them, because people are lustful and they drink and they're away from their norm. And see, that's why so many people don't like Americans, is because here, like in the offices, well, it used to be people used to be on their best behavior. That's not such a thing anymore. Then they go over to Europe or on these Philippines, Japan, China, wherever, and then they act how they want to act, and then they let themselves go. And then people see that and they're like, God, that's America. And now they don't even hide it anymore. Now it's just, what the heck? My cat jumps up on the fan, so he's changing the settings on the fan. He's sleeping right there right now. That's Stan Lee. He's my little gato. Oh, gato. Oh, kitty. Cute, the cute little dog. Oh, sorry. Yes, but he jumps up on this fans and blows out cold air. It's chilly in the bits. Luna's back there too. So I don't even know. See, I don't even know what day it is. I am hopeful I'm getting all my stuff done on my bourbon. The exhaust is broke and it needs to be repaired. And basically, I just spent $3,000 on a tune-up, and I'm not happy about it. So I'm going to do a 1-star review for the people that did that. I just have to think about how I'm going to say it. Because, like, I get taken advantage of. You always got to remember, when you're paying people to do a job and a service, you don't have to be friendly for that. It has nothing about being nice. And then, because nice gets you paying $3,000 to have an oil change, and so an oil pan gasket, like where the work doesn't add up to the late, like none of it adds up. And then they had your car for 9 days. I'm spending $3,000, and they didn't even acknowledge that the exhaust is broke. And so I'm done with shit. See, because I was an age mechanic for the 55th Maintenance Squadron. That is supposedly, like, ask them, they'll tell you they're the greatest maintenance squadron in the whole world. Like, they go all over the place. The 55th goes everywhere. They're the reconnaissance. They're the eavesdropper, and they listen to everybody's conversation on their cell phones for years under the guise of military exercises. And then, like, somebody, there's always people that take advantage. They misappropriate funds. They abuse their power. They take jets, on leisurely rides that depress their girls. Like, they do all this stuff, and then they blackmail. I was called and threatened by an SP because the guy was married to a girl that I like that cut his wife's hair. That's it. Like, I like people and I get threatened. So I don't even like people anymore. You know? It's so weird. Planet Earth is a really weird place. But the military is a lie. Like, they don't, they all the enlisted, the housing was always shit, like trashy, like gross, like Section 8 houses. You know, like, you think that it's the military, they're gonna get better, they get better, but that's not the case, because they're too busy building houses like fire houses, like the houses for show, the houses that, or Stratcom, making a Stratcom, making that another, making a big old, it's all bells and whistles, it's all pony shows, it's all absorbing resources and using budgets so single moms, can give their little kids flags and explain to their kids while they don't have food to eat, because all the money goes to the military to defend America and protect our freedom and give us they're just words. They don't mean anything to narcissists. And those are who's running the show. And they create them, there's these groups and there's these clubs, and then they infiltrate and they just do whatever they want, and it's just a whole bunch of nothing useful. And my brother's one of them, and I see the whole history of the pattern of his behavior and how he's one of them, and how being estranged from him is the best thing I could do, because I have nothing to do with the grossness of the whole blind bloodline of the Freemasons, of what my family is. And I washed my hands of all of it, and I never got to use any of the benefits and was afforded any of the luxuries, and I went without, and my soul is clean. And people, they try to live so long for this life, and they don't realize that energy never dies, and it's not even this life that I live for, it's the next incarnation. So anyway, I'm gonna get off here, go watch some Bob's Burger. I think Mom's asleep. I wanted to get on and make mention to Benzo and Tutuk and Peaches and all the things that I used to get sad because I think that, like, when things that I love died, that the love that I had for them died. And it doesn't. It just gets misplaced. I just put it someplace else. I just use it in a different area. And I'm trying to make a kitchen in the back of my Suburban where I can pull out a nice long drawer, and I can make travelers and unhoused people and just people just freaking having a bad day. I can make them a freaking cup of coffee, or make them some stir fry, or just whatever they want, because you feed your stomach, and it feeds your soul, and it nourishes your spirit. And the goal is, you make enough people feel better, and give them opportunities to be productive in their own communities, and pay them what they're worth, and stop charging people $3,000 for a piece of shit house just because landlords are greedy. They want you to pay for their mortgage of the rental and the mortgage in their house that they're living in too. I've seen this get worse and worse because people don't regulate themselves, because the governments don't regulate themselves. Unless that you make somebody in the government mad, then they'll go after you. The governments are just basically... I got a littering ticket one time. I don't litter. I dropped a cigar, and a frickin' off-duty cop didn't like my attitude, so he called a dude. And this is before I knew that I didn't know my rights. This is before that. And, like, I was late to lunch just because this guy held me up. just because he used his power. He's just because he was a Bobby Coyle. He's a piece of shit. There's so many of them out there. There's so many of them out there. There's so many bad cops, and it's so hard for me to believe that there's all the good ones. Because what, you don't know who that your freaking comrades, your fraternal order of police, brotherhood of butt stuff, that they're scumbags doing terrible things. Like, that's where all the missing people go. It's the people that are in positions of power and authority. It's not bums, winos on the street. That's crazy. People are figuring it out. I love it. It's great. So there's the dawn of a new age, and I'm excited for the new year to begin in March, when the new year begins, and I just sit and watch at all the people that play the reindeer games that go along with, oh, this is, another year, and I'm like, come on, they're still using calendars and stuff, but that's cute. Alrighty then. Alright. That's about all I got for now. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you have a rad day. Peace.